Hi everyone, you're welcome to the Tailor's Hub. In this video, I want to show you how to make this stylish kimono jacket. It's very easy to make and it's beginner friendly. Alright, so thank you so much to our returning viewers. And if this is your first time on this channel, do well to subscribe. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Alright guys, you're welcome back. The things that you need, if you have a 2 yards ankara, it will be fine for that style. The measurements that you need: length of the jacket, shoulder to shoulder, length of sleeve, bust, and your round sleeve. And those are the measurements that will be needed for this kimono jacket. Alright, so let's just go straight to business. So the length of this particular jacket is 22 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut the back first. So the length of the jacket, as I said earlier, is 22 inches. I trust you can see it. 22 inches. I'll make it 23 inches because of the allowance. Let me mark it. So I'll measure the length of the armhole, which is 9 inches. Measure the back. Back is 14 inches. Add sewing allowance, 14 inches into 2. That's for the back. Plus the allowance, ½ inch. Alright. Measure the neck width. Remember, it's a jacket, it shouldn't be wide. So the width of this neck is 2.5. 2.5. At the end of the shoulder, remove 1 inch. Here, this is for the shoulder, the end of the shoulder, so that it can be slanted. Look at it. Alright. Then here, remove ½ inch at the neckline. The depth of the back neckline, just make it just ½ inch. Okay. And connect it to the width. Form like something like a sharp end here. Alright. So we're away from that. Curve your armpits, your armhole. I go ahead and curve my armhole. So when you are done with that, from the shoulder to the nipple point, that's from your shoulder to your nipple point. You should measure it because that's where you're going to measure your bust circumference. So the shoulder to the nipple point of this particular jacket is 10 inches. So I make it 10.5 and I go ahead and measure the bust, which is 36. I'll add my sewing allowance. Okay. Then you don't need any other measurements. All you need is to trace it down or get a ruler to rule it down. Alright. That's about that. It's the edge of the jacket is just straight, it's not curved. So we'll go ahead and cut it. That's just about that. So we're going to use the back to cut the front. This is the back and this is the front. Okay, you know the essence of this space as we go ahead and do that. So now mark using the back bodies that we have already cut. Mark the width of the front. We're going to use the back to trace out the front. Alright, so as I have marked it, I raise it up a little. Okay, measure the depth of the front bodies. The basic measurements for any neckline that is going to have such collars is 3 inches, unless the person is very, very fat and thick at the neckline. But the basic measurement is, some people use 2.5, but it's 3 inches. I'm going to use 3.5 and 3 inches rather for this. I've said this in some of my videos. If you don't have a ruler that enables you to get the curve and all those things, If you want to cut a neckline or even armpits, form an L and put an arc at the edge. All right, put an arc at the edge of that V, and that gives you the round neckline. Okay, so we go ahead and cut the neckline. We go ahead and mark the neckline of the front. All right, you also notice that. All right, so at the front part down, there's an opening. There's an opening at the front part. So first thing, mark the center. Let me take out the, so that you can see the front very well. All right, this line is the middle. All right, let me use a ruler. So I'm used to drawing lines with my hand, but I want it to be clearer, so let me use a ruler. All right, this line is the middle, the center. This excess 1 inch here is to have a perfect overlapping at the neck area. All right, so at the bottom part of this jacket, take out 1.5 inches so that it will have that opening effect down. Connect it to the neck. All right, place your ruler and form something like a triangle. If you can see it, form something like a triangle. Did you get that? This is the middle point. This is the overlapping. All right, so we need just this place for the overlapping, and then this is the opening. So you go ahead and cut it. It's as simple as ABC. All right, all right, we're done with the body. So let's cut the sleeve. Notch the center. That's the sleeve. Okay. Also center here. So now we are going to go ahead and cut the lining of the jacket. Please note that when you are making this type of jacket, you should put enough stay. Let it have enough stay so that it can sit well. All right, let it have stay. The collars, the front parts, everywhere, you should have enough stay inside the collar. So as you can see, I added the stay already. So the only thing that was needed to be done on this jacket was that I turned it to the back so you can see it. All right, so I joined the shoulder to shoulder, and then the allowances on the sides. That's about that. I also did the same for the lining. All right, guys, as you can see, I've turned the lining with the jacket. So the next thing we need to do now, I've turned it. Also turn this place that I forgot to mention earlier. Also turn this front part. All right, so now we measure this neckline so that we can cut the collar. So let's go ahead and measure it. The width of the collar is that I measured is 15 inches. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and measure 15 inches. I adjust it to whatever. I like to cut my bishop collar this way. 15 inches is 7.5. So I'm going to make it 8 because of the sewing allowance. So this way. All right. Then I go ahead and measure the length of the collar, which is about 1 inch. You know that there's a bishop collar underneath the main collar. So that's what we are cutting first. So the length of the bishop collar should not be more than 1 inch. So I make it 2 inches. That is the collar on which the main collar is going to sit on. So I make it 2 inches so that by the time I sew half here and half here, it comes back to 1 inch. All right. So that's for that. if I make this place 15, obviously this other place will be like 14 inches, and the round neck of the person that is going to wear the jacket is 14 inches. All right, so we'll go ahead, and if after cutting, making your jacket, you measure the neckline and you notice that it's not up to the measurement of the neckline, you should cut it to adjust it to the neckline of whoever the measurements that you are using for the neckline. All right, so okay, so let's go ahead and cut the main collar. This collar, this base collar here, we use it to get the measurement of this place as well. That's one. Okay, that's for the width of the collar, the width of the neck. All right, so we'll go ahead and measure the length of the collar now. So here is where we have the slanting. I want it to be about 4.5 inches, so I'll make it 5.5. I'll make it 5.5. This is 5.5. Take a look at that. Then I want it higher. I want to make it maybe, let's just say 3 inches, so I make it 4. Then connect it. So we go ahead and cut it. This is the way it's going to look. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll go ahead now and put my stay on both collars, both the base collar and also the one on the top. Then we'll come back to finish it up. All right, so here we are. I've already added the stay on the collars. Okay, so here is it. So we'll go ahead now. I'll go ahead and sew this place. Sew it this way and this like this and close it. I'm not going to sew this place yet. All right, let's do that. All right, guys, so here is it. Join the upper collar. So the next thing we're going to do now, go ahead and place this. Look at it. Place this on this. And use the lining to turn it. Join it like this. Then use the lining to turn it. Okay. Right, you're welcome back. So as you can see, the collar has been joined. I just want you to see it before I go ahead and iron it. This is it. This is it. Of course, I turned in this side as well, and this other side too, turned inside. So the next thing I'll do now is to sew down this place. I sew it down, then it will be ready to be tucked in into the neckline. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so after ironing it, look at the way this is what it looks like. Okay, this is it. Ironed it this way. This is it, and this is the final look. Okay, I bet you can see it. This is the way it's going to sit on the neckline. All right, so let's go ahead and so the next thing to do, I like to turn in the lining. So what we are going to do now, open it this way. All right, the base collar, this base, we're going to sew it like this. Just make sure to notch the center at the back here. Notch the center, so that when you also do that, to give you a clue to where the collar is going to sit, whether it aligns with the center or not. So also notch the center. Okay, look at this, the center of the collar. Okay, all right, so open it this way. This is the way I do mine. Some people use their collar to the open one and use it and sew it down outside, but I like to turn it in. I'll open the lining like this. Okay, I sew it first to the cloth. Look at it. This is what I'm talking about, the center to the center. All right, so I'm going to use pin to hold it down. Hold it down like this. Okay, that's about that. So we go ahead and sew. I want us to sew it this way. Right, this is what I was talking about. You see that the lining is not joined. This is what I was talking about. The lining is not joined to the clothes yet. So what I'll do now is to turn it using the armpit, the armhole. All right, turn it out. Okay, so go ahead and sew the lining this way and turn this place. All right, so here is it. I've used the lining. So what we need to do is notch around the collar. If the allowance is too much, you can trim it out, so it's not bulky at the neck area. I'm going to trim this place down. That's it. All right, that's about that. So the last thing to do now is just to add, look at the sleeve. We go ahead and add the sleeve. So we're done. All right, thank you.